Before anything else, preparation is the key to success. Alexander Graham Bell. My friends, our preparation each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes, practice trading, learning these charts. We see a pullback after everything being up yesterday. Everything is down today, not as much as it was yesterday, but everything is down. We can see on the half-day chart on the S&P 500 where things popped up in the morning, pulled back in the afternoon. We still have an up week. Price is still nicely above on the 2-day and the half-day. The latest 2-day candle started today, will end tomorrow. And of course, the weekly will end tomorrow. Not a lot to write about home on volume as far as where it is this week. Again, could be crazy volume tomorrow. Might get up to the average. Don't know what each day is going to hold for us, but we follow these charts and we see accurate patterns with the ebb and flow of greed and fear. Fear when things start to go down, greed when things start to go up. Now let's move from the S&P to the NASDAQ. By the way, S&P down 0.21%, not even 1/4%. And likewise, the Q's down 0.20%. I guess that's what you'd call a fifth. 20%. 0.20%. Now, we see again another up candle. The stronger turnaround, of course, was with the NASDAQ 100. We had that interim low that was hit back on the 15th. Next week, just sort of chugged along, not hitting that low again, but with above average volume. Then with average volume, 2 weeks ago, we had that green spinning top. The telltale signs here, interim low, nice green spinning top, decent volume on both the low and the turnaround. And then, of course, sailing upwards. We see up in the morning, like the S&P, pulling back some in the afternoon. We see the 2-day and the half-day still nicely above that weekly trend line. So we're still long stocks. What do we see with bonds? They are pulling back just a little bit, 0.10%. So pretty much flat. We see where it popped up in the morning and then pulled back in the afternoon on the half-day. And we have gone a little bit higher on the first day of this latest 2-day candle than that prior. And of course, this week on the weekly, we're looking decent again. No way to call this turnaround because we had a doji. We did have above average volume, but that's a lot of indecision. That is so much indecision, I'm not pulling the trigger on an up move unless I had a really clean, nice, strong bottom with high volume, which we didn't have. We didn't have it because it got lower the next week without average volume. So not the kind of turnaround I would be pulling the trigger on. What do we see with gold? Gold pulling back 0.39%. You can see where it opened in the morning and really didn't do anything in the afternoon either. We are still above the weekly trend line of course we're above the weekly trend line because we have a downtrend that is trying to turn around. We will see as we end the week where this is going to end. I think it's going to end, with an up move. But what does that new trend line do for us? About as flat as they come. I guess it could be flatter, but not too much to it. Again, no real help in the turnaround here with gold, if indeed that's what it's going to be. I have a feeling this top on gold may be a new top for us. We'll wait and see how gold continues to perform. And again, as we look at gold, we can see that, of course, after the high that we got back on the 8th of April, things went lower. Then we had a doji followed by a red spinning top with above average volume. And again, hoping to see continued down move here. Saw things flip over. And of course, no average volume to even help us see a turnaround. So not helpful as far as what the charts are showing us. And I want you to understand that's okay. We trade things that are helpful. We don't have to have every chart work. Don't expect every chart to work. There's a lot of times that the sentiment is just not clear in the market itself. And when it's not clear, then you're betting. We don't want to bet. We want to use probabilities in our favor based upon what we've practice traded in the past, what we know works as far as indicators go, and the experience we've had with that particular ETF or stock. Use all three of those things to our advantage. Let's look at where we are on Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin ETF. 4 weeks of down move. We've clearly broken that trend line with this green spinning top. Bitcoin pulling back today 1.32%. You can see where we had the up move in the morning and then pulling back in the afternoon. And again, I'd like to see Bitcoin roll back over, although this may be, the signs of a new start. Problem is, even when we look over here at where things are on 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin, you can see that it's not shining nearly as much as what we're seeing with HODL, particularly when, we draw a trend line here. You can see too that our volume is lagging. The last time we had at least average volume, we go all the way back to April the 15th. So we don't have any volume triggering anything to help us sort what the candles are telling us as far as a reversal, a strong up or down move in either direction. So we will continue to monitor these charts, see what there is to see, learn what there is to learn, and have fun while doing it. By the way, Patreon members, I've already published for you at the Patreon site the weekly vertical cross. I'm going to publish weekly vertical crossovers tonight. Also email that to you. Also published already at the Patreon site, three-wave trades and the charting cryptos, commodities, and currencies. And like everything, we post it both at the Patreon page, and then on Thursdays, I email everything to you also. If you don't see the email, always check the Patreon site because it's always there first. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.